Yeah. What? Yeah. I mean, if you want to get free, you have to do it. What? You are lustful. You just don't notice it. I mean, lust is the worst fetter of all. Yeah. I mean, look, the Mahabharata said it. There's nothing stronger than kamma raga. Yeah. Then sensual desire, lust. Yeah. Sexual desire, sensual desire. Yeah. I mean, you cut that down with a super. Yeah. I mean, if you have sexual desire, for your partner or so on, just pull off the skin of him, and you don't want to hug him anymore. Your sexual desire completely vanishes for that moment. Really? Try it out. Just skin him. You don't want to hug that mess. I guarantee you. Yeah? And your sexual desire for that moment completely disappears. That's why a monk is safe if he does a super. Yeah? He's not pulled in. Yeah? But if he doesn't have it, ready at hand, I mean, he can fall for it. So don't think, you're beyond sex. Just because you're old, it doesn't mean that you don't have sexual desires. Yeah? And sensual desires. Of course it is not a nice meditation. I mean, I never said that, yeah? I mean, it is a meditation, to gain freedom. Well, I mean, there's, if you don't want to become free, you don't have to do it. If you want to get free, you have to do it. Yeah? I mean, you have not the slightest idea, what this fight is about, yeah? I mean, just, you all live in your comfortable, apartments, or houses, you have everything what you need, yeah? You have food whenever you're hungry, you have, something to drink whenever you're thirsty, you have a nice bed, you have it warm or you have it cool, yeah? I mean, just go out in the forest and live under a tree. And then you feel all sorts of things, yeah? You think you don't need it, yeah? Huh? I mean, just, just send anybody who thinks he doesn't have any sexual desire for 3 months in the forest, and then he will see it. Huh? It's coming up. Thoughts, memories, huh? Coming up. Desire comes up. Guarantee you. Just go there. You'll see it. The kilesas won't let you alone, yeah? So that's a path, yeah? That's a path to deliverance. Yeah? It's up to you if you go it, yeah? If you wanted a nicer way, then train the jhanas, but that is not easier. Training the jhanas alone takes a whole life. And that means, you are in a cave, you're alone, and just train the jhanas. Yeah? And then, of course, with the jhanas, there's a different way, of investigating the body. Yeah? But it's useless, most people don't even know the jhanas. So any other questions? Yeah? Now that we heard about it, we don't want to become free. Yeah? Dukkha, see the dukkha in your life, yeah? I mean, you need to have some motivation, I mean, it's a very tough road that you go. Yeah? The road to deliverance is very tough, yeah? I mean, but if you have enough motivation and determination, I mean, you can go anyway. Yeah? But if you don't have it, I mean, if you, I'm so hungry, I'm so thirsty, I mean, there's no way that you get out. Huh? Now when you go home, just look at all these things, that you acquired, and that you think they are so valuable, and you can't let go. And then you see, to let go of these things is so easy. Yeah? To let go of other things, it's so difficult. What is?
Have you come across, Ajahn, have you come across any layperson who is a Sotapanna in this modern day?
If I have come across what? What?
Layperson.
Anyone introduce you to the Sotapanna?
Yeah, I've met some Sotapannas.
Layperson?
Yeah. But I even met an Arahant. I lived with an Arahant for 15 years. He wasn't a layperson. He was a monk. No, for a layperson it is possible. Yeah? But these lay people that I met, they all lived a recluse life. Yeah? They didn't live with a family. Yeah? One was a nun, a Buddhist nun, and another used to be a Buddhist monk before. And then he, after he attained to Sotapanna, he turned to become a layperson.
Why did he do
That it was enough for him. He didn't have any more aspires, he's safe, At least if within the next 7 lives, he will make it. And he wasn't worried. He probably, he didn't know, body contemplation, even though he was in Thailand for 9 years, yeah. But he liked to study the scriptures, he liked to study the text, yeah. So that was enough for him. Yeah? You can't see, what people want, yeah. That's why I tell you, be clear about the goal, Don't set it too low, because then you might just end up at that place, and then you think, okay, I got what I wanted in this life, next life, I think about next step. Yeah? Yeah?
Ajahn, the Buddha advised the lay people not to think about karma. In fact, it's one of the 4 imponderables. What is your take on it?
Your formulation is not correct.
It's one of the 4 imponderables.
No, your formulation is not correct. The Lord Buddha didn't say we shouldn't think about karma. We shouldn't think about the results, what kind of karma, this certain action has, yeah. But you can, you can feel it, yeah. It is very useful. Just see, whatever comes back to you is something that you have done. And all what you need to do is look in your heart and you see, that is still there, that the thing, that created this karma. And then you can uproot it, yeah? He did, he asked the people not to think, he even forbade an Arahant, to think about where these people are reborn or why they are coming in the world like this and things like that. It's useless, yeah? And it's only a Buddha, or a few of the Arahants who can really understand karma, yeah? For a layperson, this is impossible, yeah? But you always know it, the harsh words that you give to others, they always come back to you. You don't have to, if you see that as karma, you have a good, huh? Of course, karma is much more complicated, and that's why he doesn't want us to think about it, yeah? Because it can, we can screw the mind, yeah? What kind of karma did I leave behind before I entered the world, yeah? What kind of karma is awaiting me in my next life, yeah? Because I only, just like you go on travel, you only take a backpack or you take one suitcase, you don't take your house with you. So when we enter this life, we take a bag of karma with us. That will be enough for this travel, yeah? And that's what we will will going to end up, to Savoy. What is that now in English? That what is going to happen to us. Yeah? And then you come back and reshuffle your bags. Just like you do, you go back to your home, and then you pack for another travel. Yeah? There's enough kamma stored. Yeah? So don't even think about it, don't think about the beginning of kamma, don't think about the end of kamma. But, if something happens to you, just look in your heart and you know the reason why it happens. Because it's still there. At least that's what I use, and of course the Lord Buddha said, there are chances, yeah? But, if you think 100% everything comes to you, you're not wrong. Yeah? Because if you start to think, this is a chance that shouldn't have happened to me, then you get into big troubles. Yeah? See it as an opportunity to learn about something about yourself. Yeah, just like I say, whenever you see another person, you see in your own mirror. Whatever you like about him, that's not what you have in your heart. Whatever you dislike about him, it's in your heart. Yeah? And you see the world as a mirror of yourself, because that's what we see. Sometimes I also talk, do you know slide projectors? And think about your chitta as a slide, and you project it on a person. What can you say about this person? Nothing. All what you see is your colors that you project onto this person. That's how you view the world. It's always projected out. And that's why we can learn. Remember this, yeah? We project our own views upon another person, so we can't even see that person. Yeah? Only if your chitta is completely blank, then you can see every person as it is. And that's only valid for Narayan.
Is it opinionated? Our views projected is opinionated?
Oh, you know that it's opinionated. Why do you ask? It's called an opinion. Everybody has opinions. Everybody has views. Everybody has desires. And these are projected on other things, yeah? And it's not only people. They are projected onto animals. They are projected onto houses. They are projected onto things, yeah? Material things, yeah? Not non-animated things, yeah? They are also projected. Everything is projected, yeah? Sometimes I say, 5 different people, go into a wood, yeah? They see a tree. You go in the forest, they see one tree. One is a carpenter. He sees, within this tree, the planks for his roof. Another person is an artist. He sees his Madonna in that tree, the same tree, yeah? Another person, is just cold, so he sees firewood in this tree. And another person, he stumbles against this tree and he gets angry and cuts him off, yeah? What does it have to do with the tree? There are 5 different people or 4 different people, Everybody sees something else in this tree, yeah? And it's the same with me, People see all sorts of things within me. It doesn't have to be there, yeah? It's what people want, what people project. They project their hopes or their hates against me. Yeah? What has it to do with me? Yeah? But why do you react, Somebody projects something onto you. Yeah? That is it, if somebody projects something onto you, you understand why he projects it, and say, okay. From your point of view, understand it. Because you can see the point of view of other people, yeah? if you don't have any point of view anymore. But as long as you have point of views, you won't see it. Understood? Yeah? So make your chitta blank, and you see the people as they are. And you see the things as they are. You see the world as it is. Yeah? But as long as your slide is colored, all what you see is the colors of your chitta out there, projected onto other things, onto other people. You can't see the other person. All what you see is yourself. Yeah. I feel so compassionate about him. No. You're not compassionate, you think only about yourself. You're really selfish. Yeah? If you see somebody suffer, you suffer. Because you put yourself in the shoes of the others and you think, oh, this is terrible. So you think only about yourself, you don't think about the other person, because you don't even know what the other person feels. You only imagine, what this other person feels, what you would feel if you were in this situation. So how is it not selfish, huh? So where is our compassion, huh? The compassion only comes, when our mind is free, when our chitta is free. Then there is real compassion. And that compassion has nothing to do with our ideas about compassion, or our ideas about kindness.
So Ajahn, in the event where HT went to turn on the aircon, was he compassionate for all of us?
No, he was only thinking about himself. Of course, just like you. Yeah? You only think about yourself, and you imagine, of course, because for your rectification, for doing something, you think all the others suffer as well, and maybe some of them do. The kilesas always need justification for doing something, yeah? So, if I justify something because everybody else, I think all the other people are suffering, I'm not suffering.
That's the way we are brought up and that's the way we think.
Yeah, but does it have to be right the way you think? Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't be in the mess you are.
One question on this, Ajahn. The Buddha identified the mind in three Pali terms: Mano, Chitta, and Vijnana.
I don't recall it. I never heard it. But if you say it, it's in my
Mano, as in the first word of the Dhammapada, Mano Pubangama Dhamma.
The mano is normally conceit, isn't it?
Mano, as in like your thoughts or how you project.
Yeah, that's conceit. Yeah.
So in that thinking, we're always thinking.
Yeah.
But did the Buddha's teaching go into purifying our thoughts, or did it go into purifying our heart?
Of course it purify our heart. Because thoughts, an arahant can have thoughts. But they are purified thoughts because there are no kilesas taking up these thoughts, bringing up these thoughts. The thoughts themselves are not, they are not tainted. The body itself is not tainted. Yeah? The kilesas who bring up the body, who bring up desire, who bring up greed, who bring up thoughts, who bring up memories, they are tainted. As I said, I don't remember if I say it here, yeah? The 5 khandhas or the 5 groups are just a toolbox. Either the Dhamma can use it or the kilesas can use it. The toolbox is toolbox, it's a neutral thing. But, if the Dhamma is used, it's for the purpose, of purifying. If the kilesas is using, it's for the purpose of defiling.
So it depends on who influences the toolbox.
Who uses the toolbox, yeah? Think about, you use the toolbox to repair a car, somebody else uses the same toolbox, to break in. What has it to do with the toolbox? It's the person who uses it, more known simile is, the one with the knife, yeah? The doctor uses the knife to save a person's life, another uses the knife to kill a person. What has it to do with the knife? Yeah? Okay? It's not to purify the thoughts. The thoughts are not purified, are not defiled. They are natural. Yeah? It's the one who uses it, who defiles it, or who purifies. Yeah? Who uses it for purification of its own heart. Okay, understood? Yeah? Should one contemplate what?
Should one contemplate Asubha practice and irritation arise and also disenchantment arise? So how should one proceed from there?
Sorry, I don't understand the I don't understand the question. Can somebody reiterate the question?
And when in the midst of practice,
Yeah?
irritation arise. Irritation.
Irritation and disenchantment.
And disenchantment.
What?
In the midst of practice,
Yeah?
irritation arises,
And disenchantment
and disenchantment arises.
How do you deal with your practice? Yeah.
I mean, disenchantment is always positive. It's a very positive feeling, yeah? But irritation normally doesn't arise, when we do a supa, it arises afterwards. Yeah? Because when we do a supa, we are really interested in seeing this thing, yeah? And the mind is on it, But the moment we let go of it, irritation comes up. And then we need to learn how to deal with it. But disenchantment is always positive. Disenchantment means, you see through the magic of the kilesas, who tell you that the body is beautiful, and, being disenchanted, your attachment to the body loses. So that is positive, isn't it? That's what we try to, that's why we practice, to get disenchanted, yeah? Because the kilesas are enchanting us, yeah? Pulling our legs, trying to persuade us that this body is something beautiful, yeah? And you believe it. You really believe it. Yeah. Each time, every morning you look in the mirror, you believe it. And that's something, so difficult to get rid of, when you look in the mirror, yeah? Not being pulled by the leg, yeah? Okay? So, anybody else? Yeah?
It's okay. You speak and then we will translate.
It's very difficult to understand because of the echo, yeah. It comes to me, from 4 or 5 different directions.
Okay. I actually, you see, I have to tell you this story. My husband was watching some movie.
The what?
Some movie.
The husband was watching a movie.
Yeah.
And then I felt very distracted because the movie is sort of very violent.
And she's very disgusted because the movie is very violent.
Very violent.
Yes.
So they cut off the bodies, or?
No. I can't remember, but I was because I came back.
That's good. I mean, sometimes it's useful if you can't imagine it, go into a horror movie, I mean, where they cut up, these bodies. Yeah? I mean, Chainsaw Massacre or something like that. What? Oh yeah. That yeah.
It's not the body is it's not peaceful. It's very disturbing. So what I did was I went to YouTube and I saw the Asura just in YouTube. I think it was Sri Lankan recording. They have the body cut up and all that.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, I find it very peaceful. And after that, the whatever image I had got torn out. Now the Asura seemed to calm me down, and I tried many times. Actually, the Asura comes down. I don't know whether there is any side effect or whatever, but maybe there is. I sort of either see a handsome person or beautiful person. I would say, I look at myself. This is made a condition. Maybe she could go food, she could good care, see or whatever. But it is not so. This is my idea.
But what is your real question, yeah?
My question is, the Asura practice seems to have calmed me down. That's why I was asking you.
It can calm one down, but it should have the side effect of getting irritated. And when you saw that violent movie, I mean, you got really irritated. So I mean, if you watch, watching a movie, people getting cut up, you always feel, you feel, something is at your throat. And that means, your super practice has not bring you calm. As I said before, I mentioned before, there are these exhibitions, of human beings, what did I say before? They are plasticized, and they are beautiful, in its form. But when you open actually a body, a living body, I mean, it's a mess. And that's what makes us feeling sick, yeah? I mean, just body parts, are out there, even in some classes, in formaldehyde, I mean, doesn't make us really feeling that sick, Some people feel sick, but not everybody. But, I mean, seeing a live body being opened up, I mean, you really feel sick. And that's the whole purpose, because feeling sick means, your dislike is coming up. And that dislike we have to accept and we have to counteract. We have to learn how to deal with dislikes and likes. You understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
What I was trying to ask.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying. But if things like that still, kick you out, of your peacefulness, then, you still have to do more and more body investigation. Yeah? I mean, the end of the body investigation is not feeling peaceful about the body. That's not the end. Okay?
But Ajahn, why is it when she watched TV, she has this irritation? Then she go to the YouTube and watch a YouTube of the Asura, she became calm.
Yeah, but it depends on if it's just pictures. I mean, if it's a book, with all the body parts, pictured, I mean, that is also called a super, yeah. I mean, if she would see, the pictures that are in the Thai newspapers, where there's a motorcycle accident, and you see the brain, flowing onto the street, I mean, she wouldn't be very peaceful. That's a real accident, and the Thais, show it on the front page, yeah? Where somebody, half of the arm lies there, half of the leg lies there, completely cut off, not nicely cut with a knife, just torn apart, yeah? And that makes you sick. But the Thais love to see that. Yeah? No, it is the training for them, because they hear it from the monks all over, yeah? And that's, they're trained, trained to do that. They don't think so much about it.
The Tibetan did it, they did a sky
Yeah.
marathon. They jump off the body.
Yes, the Thais did that the same, in Bangkok it was a custom, people, Buddhist people, said, after my death, chop me up, for the animals to eat.
Yeah.
And everybody, could watch it, yeah? But it was forbidden because of the smell, later on when Bangkok grew, yeah? There were all these vultures, hanging above Bangkok, in the old stories you hear.
In Malaysia, Ajahn,
Yeah?
we not only personalize and beautify our body when we are alive.
Yeah, I know, it's not only in Malaysia, it's also in the West,
When we die, it's actually a bigger drama. More beauticians and
Yeah, we don't want to see, the real death of the people, where the tongue, comes out, Yeah. The Malays have been occupied by the British, and the British hate this. A body must be beautiful even when it is dead. The British hate so much, this exhibition, was accepted in Germany, was accepted in France, but it wasn't accepted in England. They thought, it was disgraceful.
I'd like to share a book I read, a Russian story, where the grandmother dies, and it was cold winter, and the family chopped her up and put her and ate her little by little.
What?
An old Russian
Put
story.
her what?
When the grandmother died,
Yeah.
they were all very poor in the early 1780s.
Oh, they ate her.
Yeah, they cut her up and ate her, because when she was alive, it was the grandmother, but when she was dead, she was just meat. So there was, you can see how we condition ourselves.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we should eat, human beings.
View the perspective of
And if these questions are not about a super, forget it. Yeah, no. You can ask them tomorrow. Yeah?
is anger. Is there anything as a positive anger?
Just feel it, yeah? Yes, there's a positive anger. If you direct the anger at the, towards the kilesas that create the anger. A person who has lots of anger, he can progress very fast on the path if he directs the anger towards the kilesas who create this anger. When you look at the monastery of my master, Flungda Mahabor, all the monks were very easily excited, they were really angry type, just like my master, he was a very angry type, yeah? And, if you use that anger towards your practice, yeah? Just like I said, if you get tired, if you rouse your anger, and then you can go on, practicing, yeah? Or use the anger against the kilesas, yeah? If you're greedy, it's very difficult. Yeah? But if you have lots of anger, direct it towards the right thing, and then you can progress very fast.
Something like the Incredible Hulk.
What?
Something like the Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, the big monster, the Hulk.
Oh, Hulk.
No, I think maybe the anger without emotion, right? It's like the person who was angry, but was not really angry, but he projects himself as very angry. So that
it can also come through emotion. It doesn't really matter.
Emotion, yeah.
No?
There's no emotion.
It can come with emotion, but you have to cut it down, as a practitioner, you have to take out the emotion, and then just, look at the anger. And the emotion is cut out very easily the moment you say Buddha, 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 yeah? Then the anger is still there, but everything that fired the anger is gone.
I was saying in the sense that Darwin is.
Well, it is very difficult to have anger without emotion, without any feeling, without any thoughts. How will anger arise, yeah? It has to have a base. Just like greed doesn't have a base, I mean, you're not greedy or lustful for anything that doesn't have a base. And that's how what we are going to learn when we do our Suba practice. We see the base of this anger, and we see the base of greed. Yeah? There's nothing, except for, you can call it, of course, an Arahant, who is angry, I mean, he has no base. He just uses, the khandhas and the energy, of this, to get down the teaching. But people don't understand it because they can't distinguish between anger and, and characteristic tendency. Yeah? I mean, so Lungta was really, really tough, because he was an angry type. Others were, very, really soft, yeah, because they were soft type, yeah. So, I mean, however, he did his teaching, he did it according to his characteristic tendencies, and they don't change, just because he's an Arahant. The 5 khandhas stay the same, they don't change. Yeah? But he has no more ill will, towards anything. Yeah? I mean, when he uses it, then he uses it out of compassion for these beings, and he knows, if he uses it, it will have good effects. I mean, Lumpur Man could get really angry, yeah? I mean, he scolded a monk for an hour, until this monk gave in. Yeah? And, as a normal person, you can't distinguish if he's really angry or pissed, or if he's not angry. Yeah? It just uses it. That's why people say, every monk should be your friendly neighborhood monk. Yeah? From the monastery, yes, you're all kind, you're all Buddhist, yeah. Just bring me enough money, make good married, and then you go all to heaven, yeah. That's a friendly uncle from the neighborhood monastery. It doesn't have any effect on you, positive effect. Okay. What? Yeah? You really have to, for the next retreat, you really have to find a way, how to deal with this, Yeah?
Once you're practicing Asubha, do you follow up with Metta meditation later?
Why do you want to follow up with Metta meditation? I mean, all these Malaysians, all want to practice Metta meditation, yeah? Huh? Why? Because you don't have any Metta? No, I mean, it doesn't help the anger, I mean, we really want to deal with anger. We want to learn to deal with anger, I mean, then doing Metta meditation, really puts the anger down, that's not the point. Yeah? We want to understand, just like, I mean, I said the sharpening stone is pain investigation when we do samadhi. We want to know what is pain. We want to know what is anger. We want to understand what is greed. And for that, we have to experience it full-heartedly. Yeah? Just like pain full-heartedly. What is pain? Huh? Yeah, asking you. Yeah? 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 I mean, this, I read the sutta, where they all killed themselves, of course, then the Lord Buddha did metta for them.
The Buddha did metta.
Yeah. I've never seen this. I've never seen the sutta. I mean, yeah, maybe they did, but I've never read it. I mean, think about it, I mean, if you do a supa, you think about it. If we do a supa, then we do a supa, in order to understand the nature of the body, but also to learn how to deal with anger without replacing it with something else. Because then we don't understand the nature of anger. It's like, it's like you have pain, and you think about something else and the pain is gone. That's not, how we learn to understand, I mean, it's something that pulls you, yeah? I mean, metta is okay, yeah? We as forest monks, we don't do metta, yeah? Because it has a side effect, yeah? That's just like people like you, coming up and disturbing our practice. That's the side effect of metta. I mean, I'm certain that the Lord Buddha didn't teach, the monks to have, to do metta meditation. Yeah? Never saw it in any sutta. Yeah? But, I didn't read all of it. Yeah? He had metta, and you will have metta the moment, you get rid of most of your kilesas. How can you not have metta? It is one of the natures of the citta. And what you are practicing is not metta, it's an imagination of metta. You imagine, radiating this metta out there, what is the metta? Huh? It's your understanding of what is metta is that you're radiating out, but it has nothing to do with the real metta. Huh? Metta is one of the essence of our heart. First of all, we have to get to our heart, to be able to see the metta in our heart. Huh? And then you can share it with anybody you like. Okay? Da. Finished. Now, HT, you can turn on the air conditioner.